Well, that kind of brings us to our next topic, and I hope
Yes.
that doesn't happen with Fawn Weaver.
Yes. So Fawn Weaver is somebody who I look at as similar to like a Pinky Cole. They have a lot of different similarities, and I call the two PR princesses. They work the media very, very well. They have very cult like followings, and they have brands that people know and love. I think Fawn Weaver's business is a little more is a little better because it's not as trendy as
Yeah, slutty
slutty
vegan.
vegan, but she got whiskey and she has a liquor brand and people love to turn up and all of this. So
Sure.
what's going on with Fawn though? We always got a new update.
Yeah.
Tell us what's going on.
Let us know. I'm dead over here.
Oh damn, my bad. So Uncle Nearest founder Fawn Weaver is facing a new accusation from her receiver. So the receiver was put in place because Fawn Weaver and her executives were accused of fraud by the bank because they took out these loans.
And they weren't able to pay him back in a timely fashion.
Correct, right? So the receiver is doing a lot of digging, getting a lot of paperwork, and is accusing Fawn Weaver of trying to hide $20 million in assets. And this is just weeks before the judge rules on whether or not to hand the company back. Now, this is a very important, the timing. I want you to speak on that too because he could be lying.
He could.
But it just put that doubt in the mind of the judge, and it's like, you know what? I'm gonna keep y'all in receivership.
That's what I was gonna say. It feels like they already went to trial. Everything.
Well, they didn't go to trial. That was like a preliminary.
Well, they already got heard by the judge.
Yeah, they did the motion.
Yes, they already got heard by the judge. And so you would think that everything was out on the table, everything you had, everything, you were finding it. Like, how is this not in the discovery? Yes. Like, oh, by the way, I found this new document. So if you go on Fawn Weaver's Instagram page, she has created a series talking about the attempted heist of Uncle Nearest.
Yes.
She really believes that this receiver, I think his name is Phillip Young, because she calling him out by name, that he is trying to take her company for the creditor.
Yes.
And so this specific, I found $20 million that she is trying to hide an asset, is definitely given like, I'm going to turn the knife a little bit.
Yeah. I'm throwing some salt on your wounds real quick just before you start to see the light, because Fawn made a very compelling argument on why the receivership should be
she definitely
uplifted. She talked about how the sales are being affected. If y'all want your money back, you want the revenue to increase, you want the brand image, you want the likeness of the brand to continue. And they were getting kicked out a lot of luxury hotels and a lot of luxury restaurants and stuff like that because of the bad press and the bad publicity. So if I'm a judge, I'm like, that kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
You don't want to tarnish the brand and make them run down if you are planning to get your capital back somehow.
Right. And she also was able to kind of show the judge that it's not necessarily that she's insolvent.
Right.
And that is what the receiver is trying to say. The receiver is trying to say, well, they're insolvent. And she was like, there were more barrels. So are we insolvent, or do we have enough assets to cover our debt? So I think also she made that argument too, that yes, we have the inventory to cover our debt. Yes, we have different assets that could cover our debt. We're not insolvent. That was her whole thing.
And then they're liquidating assets. So I just seen a headline saying that they are selling the Martha Vineyard property that was in dispute. That kind of triggered the whole thing, because
that's what I was going to say.
What happened is with the Martha Vineyard thing, with the Martha Vineyard property is, when the default, when they stopped paying on the loan, where the bank said, well, at least y'all got this Martha Vineyard property we can take and get a couple million back. And they're like, no, that's in the LLC.
Right.
That's in a separate entity. And they're like,
avert?
Hold on, like, no, we gave y'all $108 million. Like, where's our money?
Yeah. Ain't no way you went to Martha Vineyard. You just had Martha Vineyard money out of nowhere.
Where's this money coming from? So they are selling that. There was a big dispute about that, the value of that. Fawn Weaver said it was around 4.2 to 4.5. That's what some of the paperwork was saying. Don't quote me on that, but I know hers was a little bit above
It was
4.
it was about 4, yeah.
Yeah, 4.5 in that range. And the receiver was saying it's as low as 2.4 to 2.8. So there was, give and take $400,000 to $500,000 difference, but they were in the range of 2.5, and Fawn was at 4. So that's a whole $1.5 million in range. But now it's being listed for 2.6.
And to be fair, she probably wanted to hold on to it.
Yes.
So it could appreciate.
Yes.
However, it doesn't seem like if she wants to keep her company, she need to just sell that, pay them people, and give them off her back. It's not worth it.
She made a good point too about the reason they're not getting as much value for the assets that they have is because people know they're in receivership. They know you need the money. So if I know you need the money and you got a car I want to buy, I know you need the money. I'm not giving you full price for it.
I'm not giving you the full value.
Hell no, I'm not giving you full value.
Wow.
The car worth 10, I'll give you 6. Because I know you are desperate for the money.
That is so cruel.
When you are desperate, people have to sell.
See, because I look at things, I'm chaplain of the culture, so I have to look at things through the consumer, through the people. Like, I am for the people. And I truly think, like, when you put your blood, sweat, and tears into something, and then, like, a situation happens, and all of a sudden, people get to, like, devalue something that you put your all in. Like, this is her baby.
Yes.
And I don't, like, the value should be the value. But because we live in this, like, sliding scale of capitalism, it's all about the leverage. And now people have leverage on her because of this receivership. Yeah. And so, it's like, what are you going to do? You're in a receivership. You kind of got to take what you can get.
I mean, it's not looking good, though, because previous filing alleges that the company owes more than $200 million in debt. Yes. They only have $25 million in revenue. So where the fuck is this money going to come from? There's some assets, but, they said they discovered some barrels and all that. But then they said, again, Fawn Weaver was saying people are not making the offers. They offering you 20 cents on the dollar because they know you need the money. So, of course, those assets are going to be devalued. It's kind of like Spirit Airlines going bankruptcy and they're trying to sell their planes. Well, nobody about to go give you market value for that. If it's worth 60, I'm going to come in. I got 50. I got 42. I got 38. And then you might meet you in the middle and you might, it's going to save you a couple $1 million because this person is desperate. We all have done that in some form of negotiation. You learn leverage and you learn, this person needs to sell. Or somebody's going out of business. What's the Bed Bath & Beyond do this area of the week?
I know, right?
Oh, we're going out of business. Come buy our stuff, and then they still in business.
Yeah, exactly. I've gotten like that so many times it doesn't even make sense.
Yes, and a lot of companies use it as a marketing tool because they know, like,
you're gonna come in and you're gonna think all this stuff is cheaper than it was before, and it's not. We just changed the signs.
Exactly, but shout out to Fawn. She's fighting, so a ruling should be coming down. Expected as early as March, so late March. So, it's March 3rd now. So
it should be coming. It should be coming.